I wanted to start off this video by saying thank you for all of your support throughout the years. This channel is about to reach 300,000 subscribers, which is something I never thought would ever happen in a million years, and I know everybody says that, but I genuinely did not think the channel would ever do this well. It kind of feels like just yesterday I was super excited when I got 1,000 subscribers. I was like, oh my god, the milestones have been achieved, the bucket list, scratch it off. But even back then, there were people in the comments saying, alright, next stop 5,000 subscribers and then 10,000, and I was sitting there thinking, y'all are absolutely insane. There is absolutely no way that is ever going to happen, but here we are. There are people who somehow managed to stand my voice and enjoy my mediocre content, which I appreciate because the reality is I do take a lot of time making it. I am the editor, I make the thumbnails, I write the scripts, all that good stuff. And then on top of that, I have a day job, and the only reason I can balance all of that is because I have an amazing community. In fact, I dare say that I have the best fighting game community on YouTube. And if this is your first time watching my channel, you may want to join the community as well, and if so, go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below. And then for anybody else, including returning subscribers, please hit that like button. It really does help the channel out a ton, especially with YouTube's new algorithm. As mentioned earlier, this channel is quickly approaching 300,000 subscribers, and you don't want to miss your chance to be one of the first 300k. Once again, a big thank you from the bottom of my heart, and now a quick shout out from today's sponsor, which also helps make videos like this possible. I'm gonna be honest with all of you, I've always had a sneaking fear of becoming bald, and that's mainly because my father looked like this before he was 30. And I'm getting pretty close to that age myself, which is why I've been looking at keeps. The reality is 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of baldness by the time they're 35, and the best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have hair left. One of the best things about keeps is you don't have to leave your house and go to the doctor's office. Instead, you can visit a doctor online. And then afterwards, their hair loss medication is sent right to your door and then continues to be sent every 3 months. So you can forever say goodbye to all the pharmacy lines and checkouts. All that stuff is a thing of the past. And Keeps offers generic versions as well. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/TUDG or click my link in the description below for 50% off your first order. Once again, that's keeps.com/TUDG. Alright, now on to the rest of the video. What you're looking at on screen is a tier list, a harmless and fun way to share one's opinions on the characters in a fighting game. Whether it be who's the strongest or who's the weakest, or even a fun joke tier list like this. As you can see, this tier list doesn't pertain mainly to power. Instead, it's about the reasons why you would play the character at this point in the game's life cycle. Especially if you've stuck around since the beginning or you simply watch tournament play, you have an idea for which characters are great and why people would play them. And as you can see by the likes and the retweets and the comments, most people do like this tier list and they understand that it's a joke. Because of course Spawn is not low tier, he's certainly not bottom 5. This guy can be quite godlike in the hands of the right players. And on top of that, I've gone on record many times saying that no character in this game is downright awful. You can win with pretty much anybody, so in that regard the game is balanced. Are certain characters like Cetrion and Joker a bit too strong, and Jackie as well? Yeah, I think so. And could characters like Shao Kahn be a lot better, or at least normalized? Yeah, I certainly think so. But at the same time, this is likely the closest NetherRealm has ever gotten to making the roster feel somewhat balanced. Once again, I think any character can win. However, even so, apparently tier lists can be a really touchy subject, especially when it comes to this game. I'm actually friends with several pro players, and they have tier lists for other games, especially 3D fighting games like Tekken and Soul Calibur, and believe it or not, they tend to agree a lot more often. Or what I mean is they have a tier list that most people agree on. And then even if they don't agree on a certain tier list that comes around, they don't jump down the guy's throat and get all mad or triggered, whatever. But unfortunately, the same can't be said for Mortal Kombat 11, or maybe Twitter is just filled with crazy people. Because for me personally, I learned firsthand that making a tier list, even one that is obviously a joke, can put you in some pretty hot water. So let's go ahead and have a look at that tier list. Alright, and here we have it, the infamous tweet that almost landed me on scrub quotes, or at least that's what a lot of people were hoping. Again, there's a lot of angry people on Twitter with some hair triggers, man. They have some very short tempers. Now, I feel like any somewhat reasonable person could look at this tier list and see right away that it's a joke. And even if you couldn't, one glance at my Twitter account would show you that 99% of what I post are jokes. And I'm not kidding about that. Nearly everything I post about on Twitter is a joke, and they almost always relate to fighting games. games. I know there are some people out there who use Twitter to voice their opinions or to vent and all that stuff. I ain't about that life. And there's a lot of reasons for that. For one thing, I have people who follow me that may feel one way or another, and I don't feel a reason to divide my fan base. That's stupid. And anybody watching who also wants to be a YouTuber, take a note of that. Do not give your fans any reason to dislike you, especially if they already love the content that you make. For example, I make fighting game content, so I'm not gonna get political. I'm not gonna cover any controversial current events. Why would I do that? That's stupid. So that's the first reason that I only post memes and jokes. And reason number two is even more obvious. This pertains to everybody, not just creators on YouTube. Everything you post online is forever. You might think you deleted it, but I guarantee you, if you're big enough, somebody has saved it. And that thing you posted that you regretted and then deleted may find its way back to you years down the line and be used to cancel you. And once again, that's why I only post jokes and memes on Twitter. I don't want any bad post that ages poorly to come back and haunt me. But I digress. Back to the tier list. So this was meant to poke fun at how people tend to play the characters, at least at a passing glance. Let's have a look at the first row to explain things. So the first row wins by abusing the same 2 or 3 strings. Some people got mad that I mentioned Sonya in this category, but I was referring to her low overhead mix-up that almost always ends in the onion rings projectile. Because in that situation, if the mix-up lands, you can actually cancel the onion rings and get a full combo. And then even if it's blocked, the onion rings, when meter burned, is completely safe on block. So at many levels of play, that's how she works. She's a 50-50 character with an amazing projectile that can also keep her safe on block. Now, is that all she does? No. But if I was to reduce this character down to a meme, then that's what she would be to me. And then you have the second row, which is the same idea, but it's special moves instead. So with Jackie, you have the bionic bounce and the air shrapnel. That's what she was known for a long time. And how about Shiva, right? The exact same thing. She has the stomps and she has the dragon stance. Sub-Zero has the slide and he has the ice ball. You get the idea, right? I admit that some characters could be swapped around to different places, but at the same time, it's a lot of characters. And as a result, I feel like anybody who's not a supercomputer is going to have a couple of characters out of place that may raise some issues with others. In fact, I think row number 3 is what had people the most triggered, because I had characters like Spawn in here, and they're like, oh man, Spawn just does standing 3-4. Oh, Kano, he just does down 1. That's not true, by the way. Or, oh my god, Shang Tsung, he only spams the Ermac lift. That's punishable on block, my dude. Do not let him spam that. It shouldn't be possible. And then with Aaron Black, they're like, oh my god, back 2 over and over again. That's kind of fair. I think Aaron Black could honestly fit in the first category, but once again, I'm human. I made some miscalculations here. It was meant to be a joke. And when you take a joke too seriously, it can lose all of its luster and fun. And honestly, if you scroll down through the replies, most of them are positive, and the ones that don't agree are still pretty polite about it. But then you have the quote tweets, and that's where I found out on Twitter all the cowards go to voice their opinion, because they're essentially hoping that you won't actually see it, or at the very least it'll be posted on their page where a bunch of people who follow them can just agree with them and pat them on the back. Which I find interesting, because on Twitter you can already block somebody if you don't like their opinion, so why would you go out of your way to quote tweet and prove that you're a coward? And I'm not saying that all quote tweets are cowardly. Sometimes they're very positive and happy and they're just spreading the word. But in this case, a lot of them were negative. In fact, I think that Scar himself, a pro player that I respect a lot because he also lives in Texas, just like me, I don't think he enjoyed this tweet, and I think it may be because of how I treated Sonya. But once again, clearly a joke tier list, clearly a joke Twitter account. I only post memes. But even so, I'm not gonna hold it against him. I've sometimes misread the room and I've seen a joke and I thought it was serious and replied to it and it made me look bad, so I'm not gonna judge nobody. Everyone can make that mistake. However, I do think his quote tweet may have made my tier list right here way more popular than I meant for it to be, because then a lot of people saw it, and in fact some of them were saying it should go on scrub quotes. And keep in mind that after posting this, I actually went to bed pretty quick afterwards, so then I awoke from my slumber to find a lot of people saying, hey, put this on scrub quotes, man, we know you see it, post this on scrub quotes, oh my god. And I just thought that was hilarious, so I actually replied to my own tweet saying, man, it would be pretty poggers to end up on scrub quotes over a joke, I'm not even gonna lie. To which a lot of naysayers started backtracking and going, no, you're just trying to act like it's a joke now, you're just trying to say, oh my god, I'm saving face, oh no. To which I calmly responded with, bro, look at every single post on my Twitter account, look at the timeline, every single thing is a meme. I may have posted like 3 serious things in the entire time I've had my Twitter account, and even then, it was still a lot of it in jest. I don't think I've ever posted something truly serious on my own timeline. And thankfully, Scrub Quotes is a pretty smart guy, so he did not put this post of mine on Scrub Quotes, which is nice because it validates that most people saw it as a joke, and I think we know that from all the likes and all the retweets. I think people did like it. However, as a fun fact, one of my posts did end up on Scrub Quotes, but that's because I actually wanted it to. Because it wasn't my comment. Instead, Instead, it was a comment in one of my videos from someone who doesn't think it's okay to spend time learning fighting games, which is of course ridiculous. If you enjoy something and it gives you genuine satisfaction without hurting anybody else, then by all means put as much time into it as you want to. It's your life, man, and as far as we know, it's the only one that you're guaranteed, so spend it however you want to that makes you happy. Once again, as long as you're hurting nobody else. But at any rate, that's about it for me tonight, everyone. I know this video was a bit of a random one, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it because it's something different and refreshing for this channel, and it likely won't happen ever again. So I do hope you enjoyed. Once again, leave a like down below if you did, and make sure to subscribe so you're one of the first 300,000 subscribers. What are you doing? Make sure to come back next time, everyone, and as always, stay underdogs.